Hey everybody, this is Herschel Fuhren from High School Top 200. This next installment of the preseason rankings is number 12, and that is Nelson College. Nelson College is actually a pretty interesting one because they're one of those teams that has to rely a lot on travel and a lot on their schedule and how their schedule relates to either resting players or making sure that if they've had too much travel, bench players come on. And so this is where it's really important, and I always think it's really important that that you have a really strong bench and a bench that knows how to just jump in the game and get started straight away without having to really kind of warm up. And so that's the troubles, or I guess the extra planning that Nelson has to do on a weekly basis. But they have some really good players coming back. I think they have some guys who are definitely going to be New Zealand secondary schools. Of course, Leicester's going to be one of them. And whether he lines up at fullback or either centre, it really doesn't matter, because I think he's going to make New Zealand secondary schools again anyway. I think most likely he'll be on the wing when it comes to New Zealand secondary schools. But even if he lined up at centre in Nelson College, I doubt whether he'll have a down season. He's just one of those players that will just always make the best out of it. Jack Rugby is another one that I would consider as a New Zealand secondary school contender at halfback. Kyle Titai is probably another one that I would look at. Caleb Coventry will probably be a guy who maybe on the outside. I think if he has a really good year, he'll be one, and he'll probably go in there at maybe winger. He's a really tall kid, but he's fast and rangy, so he has that ability as well. But Max Frayne is another one who I think if he has a really good year and then he decides to come back another year because he's a young year 13, because he's such a bigger kid. So if he has a really good season this year and he decides, okay, next year I'm going to come back and come back and do another year, that summer where he starts to really form himself physically is going to be the most important part of his progression, I think. So Max Frayne will be another one. I really like Jamie Davis and Joe Taylor as well. Jamie Davis plays lock, and he's been there before. Joe Taylor is probably another one at blindside I'll probably look out for. Brad Poole is really good. I think that the troubles, and I don't mean trouble, I think, but the most focused in position is going to be first five with Tane Robinson, because I think that as a newer guy sort of to the system, I mean, he didn't get much time last year, and that's only because they had a superstar first five. But I mean, I doubt whether he'll take long to get himself ready, and that's where Jack comes in. Jack Ruby comes in really in a real important situation, in terms of he has to be telling him what to do, and Jack has to be constructing it and guiding it and making sure that he's in the right spot, right time, that he has things set up. And if Jack sees that he's just not ready for it, or that he sees that he's just not having a good game, maybe he should take control in terms of leading it from the forwards instead of going from the backs running onto it, kind of thing. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Jack and Tani come up with. The front row is probably going to be another real important one, because Kyle Max and Corbin Hayward will probably be the front row, and they're going to have to really put in a lot of work. One thing is that they're going to be really fit and fast and be a real mobile. Like even Kyle is not that big, but he is physical. He's physical, so like there's differences between being big and physical, and he's physical and he'll outwork you, kind of thing. So that's always a good thing, especially when you have someone like Max next to him, and also Corbin too. So it's going to be interesting seeing that kind of dynamic. I think they're going to have a really good game against Marlborough, as always. I think they're gonna like because of it, as of right now, um, I have Christ, St Andrews, and also Nelson right now as the top three, um, and then Christchurch is going to be coming soon. Shirley will be coming soon. Marlborough will be coming soon. Like those guys are all in the mix of it. But I think Christchurch, Nelson, Christ, and St Andrews are probably going to be the top four come the end, and so those battles are going to be real hard. So I think if Nelson can win at least two of the three, or hopefully three of the three, they're going to put themselves in a really good position. Marlborough's probably going to be the other hard one. Timaru is actually a team that you have to watch out for. So Nelson's are going to have a look at the schedule. So depending if Nelson goes all that way down there, they're going to have to really rely on their full squad. If Timaru comes up, hoping that with that long trip they able to get everybody rested and things like that. But it's going to be good to see what happens. I think this is going to be a really good team. I still think that they're going to be they're going to be a national kind of side. They're going to because they have every position filled up with good players you can trust, old kind of heads at the same time, and then they got superstars on the field as well. Don't sleep on Nelson. Make sure you get along. If you're one of their supporters, get along, go watch them play, see what they can do. Like I said, it's going to be a big battle against Marlborough, and also Waimea as well is going to pick up some good players with their Waimea combined team. So have a watch of that one too with Nelson and Waimea. Have a look at these superstars as in Jack and Lester and see what you think. Kyle and Max are coming through. Caleb Coventry's coming through. Have a look out for Joe Taylor, Jamie Davis, Luke Brady, Corbin Hayward, all the rest of them, Tanya Robinson, and let's have a good year, Nelson. Sweet. Peace.